Of course, like any Marvel, DC, or failed cinematic universe, R.I.P. the Duke, who we barely knew ya. There are a couple of post-credit scenes at the end of Blue Beetle, so don't rush out of the cinema like some clueless fan. The mid-credit scene drops us back in the hidden underground lair of Jenny Cords with her father's Blue Beetle Borg costumes, gadgets, and other tech he was working on. Air Supply's All Out of Love begins to play as the camera slowly weaves through his hideout, and the monitors and control panel Uncle Rudy tinkered with earlier begin to glitch out like someone is trying to send a message. There's a mysterious voice that says, "Whoever turned on my computer, get a message to my daughter, Jenny. Jenny Cord, please tell her that I love her and I am sorry. It's her dad. He's alive. Ted Cord is alive." So it's assumed that yes, this is Ted Cord on the other side of the transmission. He is alive and well, he's alive. Probably stuck in some sort of dimension, timeline, or future he doesn't belong because of his tests on the Scarab. We can also assume that the missing Blue Beetle suit is the one that he's currently wearing on his dimensional trip, because there's also a bit of a close-up on the mannequin in this scene. History lesson time, but Ted Cord was the second Blue Beetle, carrying on the mantle after the death of his neighbor, archaeologist pal, and Golden Age Blue Beetle, Dan Garrett. Garrett was the original Blue Beetle with the Scarab bonding to him. However, in his last moments of life, he told Ted to take the Scarab for himself and carry on the mantle of Blue Beetle. However, the Scarab did not want to bond with Ted, therefore he developed his own tech, gadgets, and studied the Scarab as much as possible, which looks to be the origins they may be going with his character in this Blue Beetle film, this DCU, and the potentially a future Blue Beetle sequel. This scene really doesn't spell out where Jamie or even Ted will be taking things, but leaves it ominous enough that maybe a Blue Beetle 2 sees Jamie and Cord teaming up. That's one possibility, but I really think that if a sequel is greenlit, this will take on Ted Cord's Blue Beetle, where he's been, all that jazz, but have him team up with and introduce DCU's version of Booster Gold.
Hey guys, could you drone it down? You're good!
A superhero from the future seeking fame, money, the limelight, because, well, he has knowledge of the past because he traveled back like, 500-ish years. It's a whole thing. But this could be where Ted Cord is at rather than a different dimension. He's rather in the future, and the pair travel back in time, setting them up in the current DCU, and we go from there. Ted Cord and Booster Gold have a solid relationship via the comics, so it wouldn't be too far off from being what's down the line. That is, if they move away from Jamie Reyes' Blue Beetle, I could see a Spider-Verse situation, multiple Blue Beetles, but that's years down the road. The second post-credit scene is more of a gag, a fun little joke for anyone who stuck it out, relating back to the Mexican cartoon Uncle Rudy used to jam Cord Industries earlier in the film, as we're shown a couple of animated scenes from El Chapulín, Colorado, which is not only a nod to Mexican culture, of which Blue Beetle is celebrating, but this animated El Chapulín was based on a 70s live-action series by the same name, a parody on the superhero genre, which was well ahead of the curve. It said El Chapulín was one of the first Mexican superheroes, which explains its inclusion in this movie, and with the name El Chapulín, Colorado translating to the red grasshopper in English, it's an even deeper nod to Blue Beetle's origins. Hell, call up the Green Hornet, and you'll have the start of a new insect superhero cinematic universe. One step closer to some Beetleborgs action, baby! Anyway, that is everything from Blue Beetle. What did you think of this latest superhero flick, Beetleborg action, and first official character in James Gunn's new reimagined DCU? I'd love to hear anything and everything in the comments below. And if you haven't, check out all of my other social media accounts for my Shorts and Clips YouTube channel, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, everything. Please and thank you.